Okay, this one is wild. Either Meghan Markle is rewriting her past, and let's be honest, that's something she does really well, or the internet is doing what it does best, it's tearing it apart. Let's decode this clip together. I'm Nas. Welcome to my channel if this is your first time. And I want to know, do you think Meghan's stories are real? Or is it all very carefully crafted PR? Now, let's be clear, I'm not here to break her down. I've got better things to do. But I am here to break down the language, the phrases, the tone, what's said, what isn't said, the PR tricks, so we can understand how media storytelling works. Now, whether you love Meghan or you are just tired, fed up of hearing about her, this is actually not about Meghan, it's about decoding the English and the message behind it. It's a mini clip. It really is a mini clip, but it has 9 amazing phrases. We're going to break down these 9 phrases from this little interview. Phrases such as the most telling thing to latchkey kid, and we're really going to try to understand how the media spins the story. But you know what? I think it's best that we watch the clip right now for the first time. And yes, I said for the first time because you are going to watch it at the end with new ears, because at that point, you will be familiar with the vocabulary.
And I do think the most telling, it was in the Mindy episode, and it was the moment where Mindy is playing along with Meghan's oft-told, much debunked origin story, that she was this poor little latchkey kid in the slums of Los Angeles, coming home from school every day, eating her sad little fast food on a tray table.
Right.
While she's watching Jeopardy, mind you. So she may be watching TV, but she's watching Jeopardy.
She's smart.
She's smart.
So in case you didn't know.
And she's not writing, feminist manifestos to soap companies. That's part of a class project, not an auto-generated thing.
She does mention later.
We never forget.
Yeah.
Never forget. So we're not walking through landmines here, like Diana.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Mindy says to her, I just don't think that anybody really realizes Meghan Markle ate Jack in the Box. And you watch Meghan tense up, right up, and the micro expressions and the jaw sets and the eyes go black. And her shoulders rise up and she goes, it's so funny. And she's like chopping something. So it's like dangerous. It's so funny you say that. So funny you say that because you know what? I'm Sussex now.
I'm Sussex.
Oh my God. It was like a soap opera moment.
We have it. Let's watch it.
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and loves it.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. I'm Sussex now. You have kids, and you go, no, I share my name with my children.
Yes.
And that feels so, I didn't know how meaningful it would be to me, but it just means so much to go, this is our family name.
Very weird.
Oh, and what follows that is she goes, our little family name.
Right.
Yet another dig at the royals that gave her that title.
Did you notice that at the end of every episode, it says, like, the starring, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex?
Yes.
That's how she's billed.
So
Okay, I think the first phrase that I heard was the most telling thing. So let's start right there. The most telling thing. And what does that even mean? Well, when someone says the most telling thing, it usually reveals the truth behind the story. It's telling. It tells the truth behind the story. And very often, it's not being said directly. So it tells the truth behind the story, even when it isn't being said directly. Let's talk about play along. Play along, because they said Mindy played along. So what do they mean when they said Mindy Kaling played along? Well, she pretended to agree. She pretended to go along with whatever Meghan was saying, Meghan's fantasy that she was a latchkey kid. She just kind of pretended to agree with it all. She played along. But I think you could tell from some of her body language that she didn't really agree. I think she just didn't want to argue with Meghan, especially when Meghan had that knife in her hand. So she just played along. And I think the phrase debunk was used. And when we debunk a story, basically, we are proving that the story isn't true. You debunk a myth. That's the phrase you often hear, debunk a myth. So you prove that it isn't true. Debunk. It's a lovely word, debunk. So, scientists debunk myths all the time. And I think we're still debunking some of the myths around COVID-19, the vaccine. We're still debunking so much of that information, those myths, those opinions. Now, let's talk about Meghan saying that she was a latchkey kid. A latchkey kid is a child who comes home after school all alone because the parents are at work and they all alone at home making their own dinner, latchkey kids doing their homework on their own, learning how to cook dinner for themselves. It sounds really, really sad. Except that I don't think Meghan was really a latchkey kid. Now, I could be wrong, but from all the interviews that I've watched, I don't think she was really a latchkey kid because, her story changes from time to time. But those children who are genuinely latchkey kids, they become very, very independent because imagine going home to an empty house, you've got your own key, your parents are at work, you make your own dinner, you take care of your homework, you do everything on your own. It's going to make you very, very independent from a very young age. Now, Meghan also wants to perpetuate this myth or this image or this idea that she lived in a slum. She didn't. She lived in LA. Her father won an Oscar for lighting director. I don't think they were poor. He sent her to private schools. So she definitely did not grow up in a slum, but she likes to give that impression. And the word slum, it's a neighborhood where people live in really bad conditions. Speaking of slums, I remember when I went to Rio de Janeiro and they have the favelas, which are basically the slums. And I remember thinking the slums were up on this hillside with sweeping views of the ocean. I mean, sea views. But of course, living in the slums, there's nothing good about it. I think anyone who lives in the slums wants to get out of it. So when it comes to Meghan, what I'd like to say here is that I don't really believe she lived in the slums. I don't think so. I think that's just a story, an image that she's creating, that her childhood was maybe a little bit difficult, but she survived. And then she also, or these two women, Meghan and the other one, talk about the Feminist Manifesto. And a Feminist Manifesto is quite simply a written statement, a manifesto, a written statement explaining strong beliefs about women's rights and equality. So when we talk about Meghan had this Feminist Manifesto. She wrote a letter to the dishwashing liquid company saying that women should be treated equal to men. And why are they saying that this dishwashing liquid is for women? Men can wash dishes as well. So apparently her feminist manifesto when she was 6 or 7 or 10 years old, I don't know, inspired people to fight for change. It made the company change their advertising policy. But the problem with this story is that we later found out that it was just a school project. You had to write something. She wrote it. They sent it in. Okay, the company realized that they were wrong. But for me, the problem is that Meghan won't shut up about it. This is like her claim to fame, the one big thing that she did, besides marrying Harry, of course. She talks about it all the time, like ad nauseum. That's what we say, ad nauseum, until everyone who's listening to it wants to throw up. Now, Megyn Kelly and I think it's Maureen Well, they definitely take a dig at her. Yeah, they take a dig at her. They make mean comments. They make sarcastic comments about Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. And even though you might not understand this just from the words that they use, watch the body language. Yeah, watch those rolling eyes. Sussex, Sussex. Okay, so they take a dig at her. Absolutely, they take a dig at her. They mock her. They mock her. They say she's inauthentic. I mean, it's not just the body language or the words, it's also the tone, the kind of sarcasm that they use when they're talking about Meghan. It's clear they are taking a dig at her, they're mocking her. And even when they say she's billed as, that means she's officially introduced in a certain way, especially in a series, in a show, in a movie. And they say, billed as Sussex, billed as Sussex, billed as Sussex. It's not just the choice of words, it's the tone, it's the body language, the sarcasm. It's heavy here. Okay, so here's what I think it was Maureen said. Maureen said that the oft told origin story, and what she meant was the often told origin story. This is a story about someone's past that they tell many, many times to explain who they are. What is your oft told or often told origin story? Meghan's origin story changes from time to time. Go and watch a couple clips. Go ahead, Google it, and you will see that her origin story changes from time to time. This girl kind of fudges the truth. Yeah, she does. Now, whether you believe Meghan or not, whether you love her or hate her, this kind of language that we cover today, it's not just about Meghan. It's in politics, it's in advertising, it's in influencer culture, it's everywhere. Understanding phrases like debunked or billed as helps you really read between the lines. I'm going to say that a lot of my students say that they watch podcasts, and I'm willing to bet that they only understand the gist. Probably 30 to 40% of the phrases just go over their heads. That's not their fault, because these podcasts were not created for ESL learners, they were created for native English speakers like myself. So, this video takes you one step closer to fully understanding a podcast. I mean, this was what, 90 seconds, 9 phrases? Can you imagine how much you are missing in a 1-hour podcast? Sure, you get the gist, and that's great. But if you're someone who really wants to elevate, then you need to join me in every episode for English Decoded. Before we wrap this up and go to the new ears re-listening, I want to know, which of these phrases have you heard before? Which phrase is new to you? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to go from just watching podcasts or listening to podcasts and getting the gist to really decoding English, because that's what we do here. We decode English. And I guess that's a wrap until next time, when I find another clip that's full of phrases that I'm pretty sure ESL students like yourself, like my students, don't fully understand, and that will be loading soon. I mean, sometimes there's so much that I come across, I can't keep up. I can't keep up. I would be uploading a video every single day. So until next time, for the next episode of English Decoded, where you guys know I'm going to be spilling the tea about someone or something. No one is safe. No one is safe. Until next time, I'm Nas. See you in the next episode. Ciao.
And I do think the most telling, it was in the Mindy episode, and it was the moment where Mindy is playing along with Meghan's oft-told, much debunked origin story, that she was this poor little latchkey kid in the slums of Los Angeles, coming home from school every day, eating her sad little fast food on a tray table.
Right.
while she's watching Jeopardy, mind you. So she may be watching TV, but she's watching Jeopardy.
She's smart.
She's smart.
So in case you didn't
Right.
know.
And she's not writing, feminist manifestos to soap companies. That's part of a class project, not an auto-generated thing.
She does mention later.
We never forget.
Yeah.
Never
No.
forget. So we're not walking through landmines here like Diana.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Mindy says to her, I just don't think that anybody really realizes Meghan Markle ate Jack in the Box. And you watch Meghan tense up, right up, and the micro expressions and the jaw sets and the eyes go black. And her shoulders rise up and she goes, it's so funny. And she's like chopping something. So it's like dangerous. It's so funny you say that. So funny you say that because you know what? I'm Sussex now.
I'm Sussex.
Oh my God. It was like a soap opera moment.
We have it. Let's watch it.
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box
It's
and
so
loves
funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. I'm Sussex now. You have kids, and you go, no, I share my name with my children.
Yes.
And that feels so, I didn't know how meaningful it would be to me, but it just means so much to go, this is our family name.
Very weird.
Oh, and what follows that is she goes, our little family name.
Right.
Yet another dig at the royals that gave her that title.
Did you notice that at the end of every episode, it says, like, the starring, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex?
Yes.
That's how she's billed.
So my